So now, when you were playing board games before you developed this one, what would you have considered to be one of your favorites?
So I honestly, anything legacy is just, I cannot describe how much I enjoy those games. It is, there's something about it, the finiteness of it, especially and Risk Legacy were both just, man, those are some of the most fun gaming sessions I've ever had. You know what I mean? It's like I think it's the possibility of having something that is just gone. You know what I mean? You like,
Yeah, right.
and normally in any other game, it's whatever. Everyone says you can replay legacy games, and you can, but you can't. Let's be very clear that the journey is the enjoyment of a legacy game. I've never once reopened another box after that. Card type games, CCGs, TCGs from a very young age. I was into the Lord of the Rings, the old school one, the Star Wars, the old school one, Magic for many years until the pricing and the power creep just hit a point where I was like, okay, I can't.
Yeah, I probably have upwards of 9,000 cards.
Yeah,
but I have stuff from I started collecting before icing. So
yep.
So I have revised and fourth edition cards and things like that. But it got to the point where it just became cost prohibitive, and you ended up like kitchen table Magic was always fun because you could go ahead and play with whatever card you wanted to play with. But then if you wanted to play sanctioned play
anywhere else,
in the butt.
So that's what happened to us. Is we basically ended up running a Friday night kitchen table Commander because we could literally proxy, literally do everything. But unfortunately, any of the shops around here, even for non-tournament Commander play, you can't bring in proxies.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I'm not gonna spend $1,000 to make a jank joke deck that we would always do for fun on a Friday night. Again, like it attracts a life gain or just something stupid. They're like, why would you do that?
I get what you're saying from the standpoint of Magic for sure. Card games have always been very interesting for me as well. When I first started collecting them, we went to Gen Con. It was the first or second year that Magic was out, and everything was a CCG. And I mean everything. I had pieces of games. I had them up for years, failed CCGs that don't exist anymore that I've just recently thrown out, but everything was a collectible card game. It was unbelievable.
So I'm a huge fan. Like what I did with this, trying to get a CCG off the ground, is just a Herculean effort. It's rare that it's going to survive. The money, the marketing, I was like, we don't have that for what we need. So this is more of a living card game. We're going to put out expansions, but you buy the expansion, you get everything. We're never going to go like Doomlings and start that way and then reverse into. That's eventually the games that I kept playing. I stopped paying for Magic, but I own almost every copy and like side version and expansion for Ascension. Because it's that similar thing. You buy it, you own it, you play it. I'm fine with people coming out with fun, updated content if I know that this price point gets me all of this content, and then you're not going to be doing all these stupid shit down the road.
Right, where you're banning cards and saying you can't. Oops, we made a mistake. And you can't use that anymore.
That's what kills me about Magic, because it's not a mistake. Especially in the last couple of years, I still mess with Arena because they will print a card that they know is busted. They will use it as the front runner of their set. They'll use it to sell the set, and then maybe a month in, oh wow, dude, who could have seen this card was so strong? We gotta ban it now. It's like. That wouldn't be the biggest issue, but I think a lot of people don't realize in Arena, if you're going to build a deck, right, you're building those cards, but you're getting wild cards and the rares, it's like super hard. So you don't just unlock those 4 cards that they're going to refund. You're unlocking maybe 10 or 30 other cards that you never would have played to make this work. And the second they ban those cards, it's just worthless, and they won't refund those either.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's happened more times than I can count.
It's stuff like that really ruins my, the companies that I like, I will support to the death. You know what I mean? It's, you don't screw over your customer base. You should be able.
I mean, who knew that was a good business practice not to piss people off?
It's so crazy too. Slightly, I don't know if you've seen what's going on with Escape from Tarkov. I don't know if you follow any of the video game news recently. I'm a huge. This does slightly branch into the board game thing as well. I'm working on an extraction based thing. I'm sure other people are as well. It's a emerging genre of video game that is probably my favorite thing to do. And there was this one called Escape from Tarkov that has essentially been the game for about 8 years. Like they just don't have competition. They've been running it. They had a $150 pre-release edition that was supposed to be like, it was when the game first started. It was like, you buy this, you have access to everything for the eternity that we exist, right? Like all our DL, all of our everything. And then about a week ago, they released a $250 version that has stuff that it's like straight pay to win. These guys just in less than a week shattered 8 years of like goodwill and community. I have never seen it so just like bafflingly stupid of destroying your own company for
it's a money grab. Yeah, I guess
they don't need it. They don't need it.
Yeah, and that's bad business decisions kill games faster than anything else. And for years, it was video games that came out. I was a big MMO player, and so there was always that beta that you were playing through. And they would never, even after they released the game, they would never officially say that it was released.
Yeah.
And yet we're still in beta. I'm like, why am I paying for a beta? Or why am I paying you to beta test your game?
That game I mentioned is still technically in early access 8 years later. Why? For the reasons you just listed.
Yeah, it's crazy. Either way, your game's not like that.
No, sir.
And I think it's awesome. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play. Hopefully one of these days we can meet up at Gen Con or one of these maybe
definitely
or something like that and sit down and chat some more.
So we'll be at San Diego this year. We're using as well. Hopefully next year we will be at Gen Con, and then we'll be at Gamma, and if I can swing at Origins as well next year. We're really trying to get that. Boots on the ground is our best option. We just kill it when people get to play and demo,
sure,
and like have fun. You don't realize how large-scale marketing is. You know what I mean? It's, in my mind anyway, independent is separate from big, but it's not. The second of a crowdfunding platform, you're directly competing with every single large market game, and the amount of money that they put into marketing is just absolutely absurd.
No, and I agree with the demos at the cons. That's how we picked up probably 4 or 5 games over the last couple of years. It's just, I never even heard of them.
Yeah.
And we sat down at a table and started playing. I'm like, I love this. And so we picked it up.
And that's the other really cool thing about this whole endeavor is I've met a ton of other amazing game designers, and I have a whole shelf now that's just games from other people that I met because I made a game.
Sure. And that's, there's a lot of, I won't say that on camera, but there's a lot of crazy stuff will ensue, I'm sure.
No, and that's the community itself. I really do have to say I've had a lot of creative type jobs, and this is one of the most like welcoming and sharing type community. There's so many people who like, oh yeah, I've done this before. Hey, do this. There's also a lot of scummy, oh, you gotta take these classes or take these, but there's so many people who are just like, yeah, shout out to Aric Chen. That guy he'll just go into Facebook groups and be dropping stuff that people are expecting seminars for. And like those are the guys that I see that man just answering questions, solving problems everywhere. And you always like, it's people like that where you're like, man, it's so cool. Like I said, we were recently at Gamma, so many people there, so nice, so supportive. So we had so many retailers and distributors being like, even though I'm very new to this, being like, hey man, moving forward, here are the things that you may really want to consider. And it's all that stuff that there's no way I could have known that. You just don't get it. Even if you think you do, once you are out, once you're into the big published spaces, it's a whole different beast.
Yeah, and those are important things. And maybe I'll do a separate video about that. But part of the reason why I do these is so people understand, they hear about games, they know what people are going through, the production of it, what their mindset was, what their favorite games are. But then there is definitely a retail education. Game itself, like for years, a friend of mine and I had talked about opening up a game store.
Yeah,
you gotta be part of Gamer for that. And so I went through and figured all this other stuff out, but there is so much to know. It's not just as easy as once you're done with Kickstarter, it's got to go on a shelf somewhere, right?
So that's what you think, is you think the Kickstarter is the hard. Here, I'll just briefly. We designed our box, right? We got our fancy hollow. We did everything I would about this, and then I made it like I would for a player, right? So if I take this to a bar or something, if you take the expansions out, everything just fits. So I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I got my little rule book. I got this, all you need to play the game. I could take this. It's everything. And while we were at Gamma, we had every retailer. I'd be like, I can't stock this. Your box is too small.
It's going to fit with the other boxes.
And games like Munchkin or whatever that have far less cards than ours, they have much more space. And it's just, especially in perceived value of box size. They're like, not so much in the EU, but over here, they're like, doesn't matter how good your game is, none of that matters. We're in the wrong box, we're not buying it. It's like these small little things, like the logo. There's another one I had. One of the guys literally just picked up the box. One of the distributors picked up the box, walked it 10 feet away, set it down. He's like, I can't see your logo clearly enough. I wouldn't put this in a store. You know what I mean? Like zero on my game, had nothing, didn't matter right away. Just the literal visibility of it and how it hits retail is, it's crazy. Once again, it's just all those little things that you never think about. And marketability is by far the biggest hurdle. I thought getting the game done and getting it released was like the hard part. No.
That's just the beginning.
That is literally the beginning. Like, I understand why so many people have, like they do this as a side hobby. Because I was trying to do this as like a main job, and man, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of work and not necessarily a lot of pay.
No,
you may be selling it, but it's pennies on the dollar compared to what you're putting in.
And you're pretty much never paying yourself for anything. But that cutting back to, like you said, with the marketing, that is why thank you so much for doing stuff like this. I cannot stress the amount of people. And that's the other thing too, is like when I first I went out for reviews, and I didn't want to do paid reviews because I didn't want people to only say good things about the game. Because if you do a paid review, they're not gonna say anything bad, which is I don't want anyone to buy the game expecting something that it's not. You know what I mean? I don't want people to, I don't like this. I want people that are going to enjoy the game. Sure, and so when I sent out for the first Kickstarter, I must have sent out 500 emails, and I got back maybe 10.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. It's even recently, like we were talking about Gambit, they have this whole marketing list. I just went through there for our Kickstarter. I sent out 35 to, I specifically targeted the channels, and these are, free smaller channels. I targeted like, okay, this might be a good fit. They do adult humor, they do party games, or they do drinking. 3 responses.
Tough. Man, that's tough.
And it's a very saturated market. People are constantly, there's new stuff all the time.
Yeah, I buy between 4 and 5 games a month.
Yeah.
And I kickstart a whole hell of a lot more than that. So the thing is, my husband's going to be sitting at the downstairs, and all of a sudden there's going to be like a truckload of games. He's going to go, what the hell did you do? So I forget what I buy too. So I just buy everything, but whatever. Oh, good games are good games.
And it's honestly, that is one of the things I truly do love about Kickstarter is, you'll get something and then you'll forget about it. And 6 months later, you're like, oh, yeah, let's go.
I kickstarted a game called Massive Darkness.
Oh, okay.
The original Massive Darkness. And of course, as you're going through, the stretch goals are growing. And so it's 10 more miniatures here, 10 more miniatures here, 10 more miniatures here. So by the time I got the box, it was like a 3-foot by 3-foot box that's just full of miniatures and stuff. And I haven't even played the.
I did a similar thing with Fantasy Flight. I literally, because I do the D&D, I bought their minis because they had a cheap sale. It was one of the like 3-year Kickstarters, and ended up being the longest whatever. But yeah, by the time I got it, for $50, I had 2 just huge boxes, and I was like, okay, this was worth the wait. This was worth the wait.
Aric, you ended up. Your game's awesome. I ordered it just because it's my funny bone. You have a Kickstarter running right now. I'll have links on.
We do. Thank you so much.
As to your website, so people can go and pick this up. The base game's only $30. Each expansion is only $10. You can get the whole set plus the pre-mats, everything for what's $50, $60, $70.
So yeah, right now, if you go to the Kickstarter, not only will you get all that stuff, but for $66, it's the base game, all the expansions, including the upcoming Necro, all the stretch goals from that current Kickstarter, and what will be the new playmat for that as well. But like I said, I didn't notice it till after, but I'm gonna hook you up. Like I said, as soon as we get our Kickstarter stuff, I will be sending you all the stuff from our neck.
I would very much appreciate.
Oh, no,
I feel like I just got kicked in the teeth.
No, you're gonna get the hookup for sure. That's. Like I said, I realized afterwards I saw the last name and I was like, wait, and the pixel looked out. I was like, all right.
I couldn't wait. It looked so good. I was like, I want to get it.
So that's the other thing too, is like what a lot of the people that did, because we had a ton of return backers. That's why the Kickstarter did so well so quickly. And they just needed the Necro. They already had everything else. So we had a $6 tier for just the Necro. And now the Necro is only $10. But we had some people that are like, they'll buy everything else off the website and then do the Necro, because that might not be here till October, and people don't want to wait
You're right.
3 months, 4 months, 5 months to play the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, trust me, I'll make sure. I got it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was talking about genuinely with you really, especially starting out, you have to take care of your customers. This game wouldn't exist without our backers. This wouldn't exist without the people that go to our conventions and playtest and give us these. We have so much information and feedback that we have taken from our, even still now, like we had a Gamma, the guy had a great suggestion. He was like, hey, oh, you lost your camera there.
I lost my camera. What happened? Oh, I'm going to replace my face with artwork from the game. And
There we go. Yeah, I'll keep, I'm just, my point to all this is we constantly, you know what I mean? On our Discord, there is an updated rules FAQ. There's tutorial stuff. If you have questions, please reach out to us. Like every time we do this, we're refining, we're redoing. This Necro is going to come with some starter monsters that you'll be able to use for the original base game as well, just to make it even easier, because we had some people that were struggling a little bit, and we want to make sure that if you want to play the game where you're not going to die, we are going to provide you with the ability to do that.
You ended up
And if you want to play harder, oh my God, there's a million. It only gets harder.
awesome. It was a real pleasure to get a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, it was so nice. Thank you so much for this.
All this creative stuff you're going to be doing, and hopefully it'll be at a con here soon.
Yeah, like I said, if this year, next year for sure, I'll see you at Gen Con.
Oh, absolutely.